Alrighty, what's up fellow Shadow Priests? Today we are talking about some of the best comps for Priest in 3v3 Arena. I won't talk about 2v2 because I really think it's boring and I don't like it, and I'm sorry. And if you're looking for 2v2 content, not gonna happen, I'm sorry. It's just not fun. Okay, gotta get it off my chest. So let's break it down. I'm gonna talk about the best comps, kind of the play styles, what it's good into, what it's bad into. It's always gonna change depending on like the meta and what's queuing, whether what's gonna be the best comp or not. But I hope this video will help you out. So let's start out with RPS. This is my all-time favorite comp to play. I'm going to have the most footage for this so we can go into it in a little bit of depth. We really love playing this on stream. Every night we're playing above 2900. We get so close to 3k and then ooh, the turbos come out and the Windwalker Warriors, and it's hard. So maybe we'll focus up and get that someday. But yeah, why is this comp good? You have great synergy between the Assassin Rogue, Shaman, and Shadow Priest. Assassin Rogues do so much damage right now, so it's like a very momentum and pressure based comp, and Shaman is obviously going to add tons of pressure with their purging, if they're playing the Earthquake Legendary, Lava Burst, Grounding Shear, all that stuff is going to help you stay aggressive. We really destroy mage teams, it feels like, just because they die in like every kidney. I can purge, I have fast MD, got swap. We have a lot of tools, so almost every mage team feels kind of free, with the exception of like Windwalker Mage and Warrior Mage can still be hard, but I think maybe we can still win most of the time. So RMP, kind of a free win, not gonna lie. It seems like all we have to do is use our defensive cooldowns, kidney shot, and we'll win. I mean, this is a relatively short game. Look at the mana bar here on this Priest, so gonna get a very clutch MD right as the fear hits. I had to kind of be patient on that one. We get a shield on the Rogue, Healing Tide, and Grounding, and damn, we're gonna live here. That's actually crazy. So I fake the CS on the Mind Games, get the Mind Games, stun the Priest, and win. I am playing Venthyr in a couple of these clips. These are some older clips. I think Necro is better overall, but Venthyr is still gonna be sick into some mage teams and also non-cleave teams. You're gonna have fun as Venthyr for sure. So this is what we do. We kidney shot the kill target. We CC the healer or the horror, MD the poly and the bubble at the same time. Just do tons of damage, doing whatever you can to stay aggressive. Like, you need to play defensively, but you don't want to be like running away. You still want to be like in there trading cooldowns, going kind of balls to the wall. Otherwise you're going to lose. That's also why I play swap into mages right there. Shaman has trinket but nothing to trade with, so calls out for my swap, and I'm going to be a good boy and save my trinket for life swap every game when I'm playing against mages. So we're going to have a lot of fun playing into mages. It's so annoying when I play my mage and I'm just getting kidneyed on cooldown. It feels like I can never get a sheep on the healer. And then if I finally do get a sheep, fast MD just like completely shits on me. And there's not much I can do about it. A lot of times, like this rogue just tried to pre-kick MD, but he didn't even see that I didn't have mana for it. Sometimes I'll actually silence the mage just to get an MD off if I think they're fast enough to kick it. Just a little PvP tip there, because they won't get dispelled in time to kick you, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, for the most part you'll have fun playing into mages. This is probably the last clip we'll show for RPS, into mages at least. We're gonna do kidney shot, purge, attack, just as much DPS as you can do really, and you should come away with a win most of the time. So what does RPS suck into, or what do we lose to? Why am I not, 3200? Why am I 2900? Well, there's this little comp called Windwalker Warrior, and I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you what happens. I'm sending melee just to scare them, I guess.
I can now.
I'm dead. Every game this happens, bro. Literally every game. We like, I can trinket, but I don't have anyone suppressed with it.
No.
Dude, I trinket BM'd.
You're dead?
Monks are so broken, dude. They're so broken. Like, that's
The karma? Like, I can't do
a death into that. Trying to kill Healing Tide.
Yeah.
Damage, loud bursting.
I can kill Healing Tide on one.
Lines.
The
You
trinkets,
trinkets?
yeah.
Melee? Yeah.
I'm alley out.
Somehow hit me with sweep from all the way here.
Oh my god.
I didn't press anything, I'm sorry. I was pressing
Oh, come on. Don't blame
I
you.
was pressing Mally, bro.
It's not a big deal, dude.
Alright, hope everybody got a little bit of Schadenfreude off those Windwalker games. They kind of counter Shadow Priest. If you guys watch the AWC at all, every Windwalker team basically beat every Shadow Priest team, with the exception of WizK's insane performance against that Windwalker Warrior the other day. If anyone saw that, that was cool. But some good tips against cleaves. Go absolutely ham in the opener. Don't save any damage. Just go balls to the wall. Like PI, instant void form. Send out your boys with your Unholy Nova. And just do as much damage as you can in the opener. Against that TSG, I did 7k in the opener, and we killed the guy in a DR stun on his Aura Mastery. So the more pressure you get early on, the better. Especially against these hybrid teams, it's going to come down to mana. They can just keep themselves alive for so long that you kind of have to just do as much damage as you can. Otherwise, you won't work their mana bar, and you'll just die from not having pressure. The less pressure you have, the more they roll over you. Like, you want to make them scared, so they have to run away from you. Against DKs, Frost DKs are pretty common on the ladder now too. You want to spread out as much as possible. Like, never get gripped in together. Especially the Shaman needs to stay far. And then also make swaps on the healer. Like, you see IMC the healer, he trinkets, and we insta-kidney the healer, maledict him, silence out, and that's GG. So healers are super susceptible to dying. Even Resto Druids, believe it or not, can die to RPS super easily. If you just like shiv them out of the kidney, they're kind of fucked. Oh, Turbo's another story though, man. Holy shit, let me tell you, this comp is... If Windwalker Warrior isn't the ultimate counter, Turbo might be. Windwalker Warrior still can die in a way, like they don't have as much self-healing, but Enhance just has so many tools to look, man. They're so good against Shadow Priest, it's absurd. So they heal like no other. You should tell your rogue to play Wound Poison into Enhance, and then probably Deadly into like everything else. You know, they have grounding. They can wall while silence. They've got Tremor, so fears on the healer aren't going to come easy. They just can live for so long, and then they can one-shot you at like every minute. They have Doom Winds, and they can just end the game. So we end up winning this game just on mana. So that's where damage is really going to play a role. You have to do as much DPS as you can, really pressure the enemy healer to actually have to heal, drag them away from the healer so that they can't chase you sometimes. They probably will chase you anyways, and then you can take advantage of their positioning. Luckily we win this 2v2. I just thought this would be a cool clip to keep in there. And yeah, then we'll go on to the next comp, guys. Let's check it out. What do we got? Right, next up we have Godcomp, Mage, Shadow Priest. Super fun to play. I'm going to rank this as actually the best comp in the game. And to have it be the best comp, you definitely want to play with a Resto Druid. So here we're playing with a Paladin, and Paladin is mostly going to have a disadvantage just based on mana alone. The Paladin can't heal a lot of the cleave teams that late into dampening, and a Druid is going to allow you to have more breathing room, set up more CC, and ultimately go for kills later in the game. But if you're playing like fast-paced games, especially low rating, I feel like you can get away with playing with the Pally pretty easily. But the Resto Druid is going to put it at that tier 1 S tier level. And what I will say about this is it's not an easy comp to play. It's not really like RPS where you can just kind of like do whatever, silence and stun on cooldown. Like, you need to be super coordinated. Everyone needs to do their CC at the same time. Everyone has to pick a target. It takes a lot of communication between the Druid and the Priest especially. Now, since we're playing with a Paladin, we're going to look to use Hodge more on the kill targets just because it lasts a long time. So here we go, Shaman in the middle of the map. One big advantage you have as Godcomp is you basically counter every single melee cleave. It feels like every cleave is just the easiest game ever. All you have to do is space out, combust on cooldown with CC, and then whoever doesn't have trinket pretty much becomes the kill target. So yeah, easy map there. We just drag him in the open. Shaman doesn't have trinket, we set up on him, and that's a GG. What is Godcomp struggling to? It's super good, man. It's like one of those comps where even if you're countered, like, you can still outplay the team and win. So I would say Rogue Mage is decently hard. In particular, like a sub RMP as a Resto Druid Godcomp could be really difficult. If they play like completely out of their minds and just do everything perfectly, they can for sure win. I wouldn't say RMD counters us. It felt pretty easy. If you're playing with a Paladin, you can definitely go healers a lot more. Like, Holy Priests are super easy to kill if you're playing with a Paladin. You can kind of run the Priest down. That's kind of fun. I would say Jungle is a hard matchup, but it's not necessarily unbeatable. You can still play well and definitely win. Just some quick examples here, guys. We have Ret Warrior, so we're just going to do a go instantly as soon as this Druid comes out. MC, just appeal. As soon as this Druid's out, I'm going to CC him, and we're going to stun the Ret and just kill him here. Ready? Stun the Ret. There's a banner. There's a Sank. And he just dies through healing. So insane. I actually purged a Druid's NS trying to dispel the sync. That was a complete accident. I did not mean to do that. Next clip, we got a Turbo Cleave. Turbo super popular. We hate this as RPS and we love it as Godcomp. It's funny how that works. It's like super easy to win. You just CC the healer, CC the shaman. Using silence is really good on shamans and rep allies too. Just putting that out there. They can't, you know, use shield or ground or whatever when they're silenced. What else do we have? One more clip of Godcomp. I wish I had more. I don't play this comp very often, but I will say that the highest rated Shadow Priest is playing this comp, and it's just super good at cleaves. And if you only face cleaves at high rating, you're bound to go up in rating. You can just decimate them, like, boom, die in the opener. I mean, this isn't a cleave, but you get the point. The damage is absurd, the CC is instant, and it's fun to play. So let's check out the next comp. Siphon him. Damage. Conjuring refresh. He's going to get him, he's going to get him. I'm gonna CC him.
Yeah, like Spirit Ball.
Okay, good. I stun Druid in it.
Yeah, crushing Druid. I have a re.
Okay, I'm gonna fear everybody. Fear everybody.
Sure. Kick flush.
He went down the refreshments, the Druid leaps in. Oh my god. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. Gotta conjure those refreshments, you know, sometimes cats gotta eat. But anyways, we're going to talk about Warrior Shadow Priest. Now, this comp is super solid, and you don't, like, weirdly see it too much on the ladder, even in the AWC. There's only really Valet's team and Dilbar on NA that are playing it, and I'm playing with Dilbar and Revo right now. They qualified for the tournament playing this comp. It's just super consistent on ladder. Like, it's kind of like Godcomp, where, like, you don't have any, like, it doesn't feel like there's any comps that, like, directly counter you, and if you, like, outplay your opponents, you can win. I will say, compared to playing with a rogue, this comp feels so much tankier, so it's probably like a little bit safer to like hop in LFG and play this comp as opposed to RPS, where everyone kind of has to like be on their tippy toes playing, because if you overlap defensive you kind of die. But Warrior's a little more forgiving with like intervene, rally, disarm. Spear can even be used defensively, you know, that's a big plus. You can keep people like wrapped in the voyages. You can combo that void volley with the spear. Another advantage of Warriors is that they're just fucking OP, man. They can just crit someone for like half their HP. What does this comp suffer against? I would say like cleaves, Windwalker cleaves are still going to be super hard. Just an example in this video, like look at my positioning. They can't actually hit me. I'm just kind of chilling over here. I tried to stun this monk in the spear, but I think I should have just saved it for the shaman potentially, and then we would have got more cooldowns. Oh well, either way, just sit back, do damage. Like, they can't actually push into me because they're gonna die, so that forces them onto my shaman. I grip my shaman really far on their go, and then they run back out here. The DH is just gonna blur, and then look at his health. Boom, deleted. That's why we play with Warriors, baby, because they're OP, and a rogue wouldn't be able to do that damage. So anyways, let's talk about more matchups. Jungle, super common. I made an RPS guide versus jungle, so you can check that out if you want. Didn't want to overuse those clips and like overlap content. But WPS feels so strong in the jungle. Like, the Warrior doesn't really die. They can't afford to go Shadow Priest, I feel like, so Warrior will just go battle and kill the whole team. You can really zug the Feral down. You should be able to do a ton of damage. Purge his Rapture Shields. Siphon when the Feral's low. Ideally, don't get trolled on your Mally. Like, I let him line in on the pillar. That was a bad play by me. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here, pump up the dam. I'm just micro CCing the Priest. I don't know why. Probably should have not done that, whatever. What does WPS lose to? I'm trying to think. It's the cleaves, man. The cleaves are going to be rough. The Windwalker teams already said that. I think Godcomp probably beats it too. Like, on a big map, a caster cleave can just kind of wean the Warrior, stun him over and over again, and then eventually they'll win in dampening. But on a small map like Ruins, I would say we could probably fuck up a Godcomp, and would be down to do that again. We can also lose to like RM Pal. Feels pretty insane if they play super well, but for the most part against Rogue Mage you just have the same tools as RPS. You have fast MD swap, and you can kind of crush them before they get an opportunity to close the game out. Yeah, that's pretty much it for WPS. I don't have too many clips. We actually played it for the first night on stream last night, so we were a little rusty with it, and it was fine. Like, we did pretty well. We had an undergeared shaman, but would be happy to play it again sometime. It feels actually a little bit more solid than RPS at the moment, if I'm being honest. And then I also don't have any clips for Windwalker Shadow Priest, but I feel like that comp could be really good. We see it a lot from Drizzy and Prev on the AWC. They run that with a Holy Pally, and they're just such a good team that they make it look OP. I don't really know if it is OP, but I figured, you know what, Warriors are OP, that comp's good, play with a Warrior. Windwalkers are OP, that comp could be good, play with a Windwalker. Yeah, main advantage with the Windwalker is the one-shot potential, and then the instant Shadow Priest CC could be fun as well. So the only other 2 comps I have footage of are going to be Shadowplay and FPS. So Shadowplay, we'll just get that over with because I hate playing it. It's so boring. It's really hard to like actually kill something. You need to play with like an MLG Pro Warlock to really close the game out. You gotta probably play the Twins Legendary and Venthyr and look for setups on the healer if you want to get a win as Shadowplay. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty painful, and you're going to like be sitting in a lot of long dampening games against the or with a Warlock on your team. So let's just talk about that real quick. So you definitely want to be Venthyr as this comp. It's going to be similar to Mage Shadow Priest, where you just kind of like use the space of the map to your advantage, do as much damage as you can. It's less important to have like crazy CC chains, more important to do damage. Always triple dot. But yeah, that's probably the only clip we're going to show because holy fuck, it's so boring to play. Some people like it, I don't. Let's check out FPS. Again, Spriest Arsham, so you're going to play pretty similar to the RPS and WPS. The one thing that Feral brings to the table is some hybrid healing, and then also Cyclones to peel. So the Feral is really going to make or break this comp. I would say most of the Ferals that play jungle probably wouldn't do very well as FPS because you kind of have to play like a slower paced game and more like control everybody for the win. You can't just like do raw damage like you can with RPS and WPS. You're not really going to beat anybody in a DPS race. Feral isn't really known for having crazy burst unless they're like Carrion or Night Fae. Really sketchy against melee cleaves for sure. You're not going to do as well into the RMPs as well, so I'm going to rank this as probably like the 5th best comp in the video. We'll put Godcomp at 1, WPS at 2, RPS at 3, and then maybe there's like a tie between RPS and Windwalker Shadow Priest, and so that's like 4 technically, and then this will be the 5th one. It just doesn't seem as good as the other comps. It'd make it work just playing with like a really good Feral, but at the end of the day, I feel like you have to try so much harder. Like look at me spam trying to fake the kick, MC the wings, we're just trying to peel and survive. And you just have to kind of like run around, CC them, and look for the perfect setup. Eventually, we're going to get a nice stun onto the Ret when we stun the Druid, and we can do some big bursts with that. So just trying to purge, do damage. Very similar, you know. I feel like we don't need to cover too many games. Like this comp just straight up isn't as good. It's still fun. You can still play it if you're boys with a Feral Druid. I feel like that's even a comp that's viable in 2s, even though we're not going to cover 2s. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know what you guys think for the best comps for Shadow Priest. We'll be streaming every night at twitch.tv/StopSP on Twitch, and definitely we'll be playing all of these comps. And if you guys have any questions, come by, and I'm happy to help. So thank you so much for watching, and have fun out there, guys. Let me know how it goes.